Hey you guys, it's me Janie. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a pregnancy update. I am currently 29 weeks and just starting my third trimester. So it's been a little bit since I've posted. I've had a lot going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and just make this a second trimester update since I'm just starting the third trimester. So I'll go ahead and just make this a second trimester update. So I would tell you about week 16 to week 18 is when my morning sickness finally stopped. It went a little bit longer this pregnancy than my other pregnancies. Normally by the third month, around the 12th week, my morning sickness is gone. But with this pregnancy, it lasted a lot longer. So it went for about 16 weeks, 4 months for me, almost 4.5 months, nearly 5 months. Then the morning sickness stopped. And that was just a constant feeling of nausea and queasiness. Warren, shush, honey, shush. A constant feeling of nausea and queasiness. I mean, I was very queasy to like everything. Smells, I was sensitive to smells, even the sight of food and things like that. So there's a lot of things that I couldn't eat because of the smell of it or the look of it, which was, pretty typical for me. I can't tell you, actually, yes, this pregnancy, I did have a lot of regurgitating, vomiting, for lack of a better word, with some of the things that I ate or just with the queasiness and the nausea. So I did have bouts of vomiting throughout the pregnancy. But other than that, the morning sickness let up about somewhere between week 16, it really let up for me. And then my second trimester kicked in and, I started to get my energy back. I didn't need to take as many naps during the day. During my first trimester, I was like taking naps. I had to have a nap like midday. I had to get a nap. But second trimester, I was feeling pretty good, my energy level and everything was up and I was able to get around and get some more things done and accomplished during the second trimester. And a lot of the symptoms pretty let up for me. I didn't have any sickness anymore. Boobs were still kind of heavy and full and sore. So that stayed throughout the whole second trimester too. Let's see. Also during my second trimester, my diabetes kicked in. So if you guys aren't aware, my last video, I said I was going to kind of discuss the diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and things like that. So I'm going to get into that with you guys because instead of having gestational diabetes, I'll tell you how I developed that. And then I'll tell you how I ended up with type 2 diabetes. So let's stay tuned. Okay, so gestational diabetes. I had my first child at the age of 20. And during the pregnancy with my very first child, my very first pregnancy, I started to experience preterm labor around weeks 28. And you guys, I was young. I had no idea what was happening and what was going on, but I knew something wasn't right. And I recall sitting in my living room watching the Golden Girls of all things, right? The Golden Girls. I'm old fashioned. And I was sitting there eating some chocolate chip cookies and milk. I was 20. Okay. I was sitting there eating some chocolate chip cookies and milk. I was at home alone by myself. And I just started feeling this tightening in my stomach. And it was uncomfortable. It wasn't painful, but it was uncomfortable. And it kept happening. And I'm like, okay, what is that? It was a new sensation, something that I have never felt before. So every time it would happen, I'd feel that it was the Braxton Hicks contractions, right? At least I thought. It started off as Braxton Hicks contractions, but to keep this video from being extremely too long, I'm going to speed up a little bit. So anyway, I kept feeling these contractions. I didn't know they were contractions. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about Braxton Hicks because I was 20 years old, my first pregnancy. So, but I did look it up. I looked it up, and I also had, at that time, this was in the state of Wisconsin. But at that time, it was like 2002 because my daughter was born December 2002. And, they were giving out at the OB office those books, What to Expect When Expecting. And it was like my Bible, right? It was my pregnancy Bible. I read that book. I looked through that book, every little scratch, every little whatever, I looked it up. And they had it in there. They had everything I needed to know or wanted to know in that book. So I went online and, looked up tightening sensation, pregnancy, whatnot. And I'm trying to think back that far because there was no smartphones. We didn't have smartphones in 2002. At least I didn't. Okay. So I could have just go Google or ask Google, ask Alexis. I didn't have any of that. But I remember looking it up and it told me that I was having contractions. And so, but it also told me to watch the contractions, how to time the contractions, and how often I should be having the contraction, what was a normal contraction, and when to be alarmed and concerned. So I sat there and I watched them and I timed them, and they were like 10 minutes apart, and then they got like 8 minutes apart, and they started getting really strong. And so I called my sister who lived around the corner from me at that time and told her what I was feeling. And she had experienced pregnancies and birth and things before. So, I knew that she would probably know and kind of help me out. And sure enough, she was telling me about the contractions and telling me how to time them and watch them. And I told her, I said, they're like every 10 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes apart. And she goes, that's too soon. So sure enough, she came over and helped me. And then we went to the emergency room and they sent me to the OB office. And again, this was in Wisconsin. And when I went up to the OB, labor and delivery, they connected me and they ran some tests and everything, you guys, to try to see why I was having these contractions and starting labor, why I was going into labor at 28 weeks, okay? And lo and behold, my blood sugars were really high. I was sitting there eating chocolate chip cookies and milk, but I had no idea that I had diabetes or anything. Now, mind you, yes, and yes. I had just done the second trimester diabetes glucose test and things like that, where you do the hour test or whatnot. And my doctor, I had an upcoming appointment, a follow-up appointment for that. And the lab work would have showed that I had developed gestational diabetes. But I started to go into labor before I could even go back to that follow-up appointment and get those results. So fasting forward. This was in a small town where I lived, Kenosha, and they end up having to send me to Milwaukee and via ambulance, and they were rushing me there because they were trying to keep the labor from progressing. And I got to Milwaukee and I stayed in the hospital there for over a week as they tried to get my blood sugars down, you guys, and stop the labor. They were able to stop the labor. I dilated about 4 centimeters at the time, and I'm gonna speed up on the story. That's the very first time I developed gestational diabetes. And gestational diabetes, if you do not know, I'm going to put it down at the bottom down here. It is diabetes that occurs during pregnancy, okay? And it typically leaves after the birth of the child. It typically leaves, and it has for me. So this is my 8th pregnancy. And I developed gestational diabetes with each and every one of my babies, each and every pregnancy. My mother had it. My mother had diabetes when she was pregnant with me, and I am baby number 11. And I'm her last child. I'm my mother's last child, and she also had gestational diabetes with her pregnancies. But with me, the last pregnancy, her gestational diabetes, which the doctors did tell her and me that we were at risk of developing type 2 diabetes later in life. So here I am, nearly 20 years later, okay? My daughter is 19 years old and in college. That's my first child. And I have developed type 2 diabetes now. So with that being said, what I do is the diabetes is just, it's a little bit worse during the pregnancy than it is, you know, generally after. So I have this diabetes logbook that I generally log my blood sugars in. I'll show you guys what that looked like. Actually, I'll just show you on the back. So the back has like the days of the week, you know, it has your meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It has your before blood sugars. It has your after blood sugars and any notes that you need to make, you know, in there. So this is what all the sheets look like inside of the book. And you just, you know, write your blood sugars and things like that down. So it is a diabetes logbook. Okay. That is one of the things that I have that I use. Now, I'm also taking a medication. The doctors have me on metformin that I take twice a day. My blood sugars have actually been really, really good during this pregnancy, you guys. I'm looking for my monitor. So hold on one second. Okay, so these are the things that I use to monitor my blood sugars and my diabetes. Now, this book I ordered off Amazon, you guys. I did order it off Amazon. They have them. They come in different they have different covers. I like this one because it was pink and kind of girly. And then this case, this is just a case that I use. It's a hardcover case. Keep this to hold in my strips. This is my diabetes monitor. These are extra needles. This is the needle. And then now in the second trimester, they started me on insulin. So I now take insulin once a day. Right now, I'm taking it once a day, and I just inject it, you know, once a day, the same time every day. So my blood sugars have been really, really good. I am now officially stuck with type 2 diabetes, but that occurred with my seventh child, my seventh pregnancy. So I didn't get type 2 diabetes during this pregnancy. I got it during my last pregnancy, which, you know, it was gestational. Then after I gave birth to my son, normally they would check me in the hospital, and they keep monitoring my blood sugar levels. And if they go down, then they take me off most of the medication. Well, actually, they took me off all the medication last, and I was just able to monitor my blood sugars with diet, which I'm not a soda drinker. I don't eat candy and sweets. You know, if I have something, it's in moderation. Of course, I'm perfectly fine having one cookie and not a whole pack of cookies, honey. Okay, because I am still young. I am 39 years old. I'll be 40 this year in a couple months. But, you know, I am still young, and I was able to kick my diabetes with intermittent fasting. That's a completely different topic and subject. But with my last pregnancy, I, you know, discovered intermittent fasting online on YouTube, and I started exercising and losing the weight and watching my eating and setting up my meal plan. And you guys, when I went back to the doctor, they told me I did not have diabetes at all, honey. They told me to continue to do whatever you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, you know. And I was happy. I was really happy to be able to say, Lord, thank you. It can be reversed. You know, it doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. You do have to monitor it with, you know, diet and exercise and things like that. But you can be taken off the medication. You don't have to keep poking your finger and all of that other stuff. So needless to say, during the pregnancies with the gestation diabetes and now type 2 diabetes for me, I have a lot of monitoring. I see a specialist, a prenatal specialist, along with my OB. I'm also seeing an endocrinologist who's also helped monitoring my diabetes. So I have a lot of doctor's appointments, which I'm glad about. You know, I do NSTs twice a week. I just started those. Well, this week I'm supposed to start them Thursday, so I haven't done them yet. But each pregnancy I have to do NSTs. NSTs are just non-stress tests, and what they do is they hook you up to the baby monitors, and you know, the little pink belt thing, and then the blue belly thing, and they hook you up to that, and they just listen to the baby's heartbeats. And what they're looking for is within 1 hour, they do kick counts, okay, just to check the activity of the baby to make sure the baby is not in distress, okay? So having diabetes is not just, you know, cannot just be harmful to you, but it also can affect the baby. and the growth of the baby. So they, what I see the specialists for is they go in and they check they do the measurements on the baby every 2 weeks. And they check his head, they measure his head, they measure his body, they measure his stomach, just to make sure he's not growing too large. Now, my last child, my son, baby number 7, he was born at 10 pounds, 4 ounces. So he was a pretty big baby, and I had to deliver him by C-section. He was my only cesarean. But my daughter, my 6th child, honey, look, this is when they decided, okay, your babies are, each pregnancy, your babies are getting bigger. Because my daughter, she weighed 9 pounds, 8 ounces. And when I delivered her, vaginal delivery, she had shoulder dyslexia. I'm going to say that wrong, but I'm going to spell it for y'all down here, okay? And during delivery, you guys, she got stuck. Her shoulders were too wide. And that's one of the things that, you know, they tell you about with the diabetes in pregnancy, is that your babies can grow really big, and then they can have issues during delivery, coming out of the birth canal. And that is something that happened with my daughter. And her shoulders got really stuck. You know, the doctors had to pull my legs all the way back. Like, my knees was to my ears, honey. And they were pushing and pressing and trying to, you know, wiggle her out of there. And the labor took a little bit longer than usual. Let me repeat that. The delivery took a little bit longer. The labor was like quick, because that's a whole nother story. But honestly, it was really like a few pushes and she was out. But once she came out, she wasn't breathing or anything like that. They had to call in a neonatal specialist who came in and kind of stuck a tube or something down her throat. She had swallowed some amniotic fluid on the way coming out. And that felt like an eternity, you guys, because by the time I had delivered her, and then they had delivered the placenta and all the afterbirth and everything. And if you're squeamish, honey, this is a pregnancy video, so this is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to try to keep it clean. I'm going to try to keep it clean, but, you know, it is a pregnancy video. So, you know, after they delivered the afterbirth and everything, cleaned me all up, I'm sitting on the edge of the bed now, like, I'm waiting to see my baby. You know, they didn't hand me to her. I didn't hear her cry. Me and my husband are sitting there looking at each other like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? He is, you know, I'm like pushing him, like, go up there and see what's going on. You know, go see what's happening. And he's like, it's all right. It's all right. You know, he was praying. And I know that he was, but you know me, I'm sitting here like, what is going on? And finally she started coughing up and she started crying. And when she started crying, she didn't stop crying, but that's a whole other story. But anyway, that was a part of the diabetes. As a result of the diabetes, she was a big baby. And she still has those wide shoulders, you guys. This girl's got like quarterback shoulders, you know. And after the epidural and everything wore off on me, I did know, another lesson to be learned here. I didn't know, but once the epidural wore off and the nurses and everything kept coming in, like, you need to get up, go to the bathroom. You need to get up, start walking around. And I'm like, okay, but it's painful. It hurts, you know. And it wasn't until I tried to get up to go to the restroom and walk around and start getting, you know, the blood and everything and circulating in my legs and things like that. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up without excruciating pain. The pain was excruciating. They called my OB back in. She ordered for the x-ray, as I was telling her what the pain was and what was happening. She ordered for x-ray. They sent the x-ray technicians in with the machine into my recovery room. And, you know, they did the x-ray right there when I was lying in bed because I couldn't move. And so we waited for the results to come back. And they came back and diagnosed me with Pubis Symphisis dysfunction. Pubis dysfunction. I said it backwards. SPD, okay? And SPD, I'm going to put that down at the bottom for you guys too. It can happen before, it can happen during pregnancy, and it can happen during delivery. For me, it happened during delivery as a result of them pulling my knees back to get my baby out. I mean, they pulled my knees all the way back, and it separated my pelvic bone. So the symphysis pubis is the little thing that's in between your pelvis bone, okay? And it can separate, it can open until about 4 centimeters, 3 centimeters. Mine opened up as wide as almost 4 centimeters, okay? And any kind of pain shifted my pelvic bone. And any kind of movement shifted my pelvic bone, which caused pain. So she ordered me a walker. They ordered me a wheelchair right there in the hospital. They ordered me a band and all of that to put on. And they wrapped me really, really good. Gave me some pain meds, of course, the strongest stuff that they can get. But they proceeded to tell me what my future and my life was going to be like and what it was going to look like if I didn't recover. Well, I recovered, okay? Because the moment I got out of the hospital, I told my husband, I don't want no walker. Don't give me no walker. I had some crutches, you know, to get up and down the stairs and trying to kind of help me stabilize myself. But walking was painful. Going up and down the stairs was painful. And some people don't recover. Some people still have the pain, and they are in a wheelchair for years to come, 5 or 10 years after having their child. And let's just say I refused. I refused. It wouldn't I refused. I didn't want to enable the condition, okay? I kept the band on. I moved like they told me to move, you guys. And if you're watching this video and you've been diagnosed with, or you're experiencing pain that you think is from SPD, symphysis pubis dysfunction, or PGP, pelvic girdle pain. You know, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I did have to go to therapy. So I went to physical therapy twice a week. And, you know, they taught me how to do certain exercises and things like that. And I followed the routine, and I followed the regimen. And I didn't need anything. I was able to walk. I was able to run. I was able to take my kids to the park. I was able to still have a normal life. And it wasn't even a year later, you know. So, and I clearly, I'm here on the pregnancy update video. I have been able to have more children. Now, that was my 6th child. I am pregnant now with baby number 8. So with my 7th pregnancy, it was a bit of a surprise. We'll just put that in there for you guys. I had 2 failed IUDs, okay? 2 failed IUDs. The first one came out. I went back. They put another one in, said it happens. Second one came out, but when I went back, we couldn't put another one in because someone has taken the spot. They took the space. I couldn't get another IUD, you guys, because I was pregnant. And so that scared the bejesus out of me. I was not prepared for that. And let's just say my husband and I did some praying. But, whew, honey, fasting forward, because this is a long video. So fasting forward, I am now pregnant with my 8th child. I am happy to say that I am 29 weeks today in my 3rd trimester. I don't have any pubic symphysis dysfunctions, issues. I don't have any pelvic girdle pain. I can move, I can get up, I can get around, you know, just like anybody else. So does it happen in every pregnancy? No, it didn't happen for me. But I'm also mindful of it. I watch how I move. I watch how I lift. I watch how I bend. I watch how I get in and out of bed. So look up those videos, and they'll show you how to turn your body and how to get in and out of a car, how to get up the stairs using 1 foot at a time. You know, any kind of shifting of the body. I'm sorry, I'm moving the camera in this in the directions I'm kind of going back. Any kind of movement. You know, you kind of want to be mindful of the pelvic bone and the pelvic region area there. And I am not experiencing that this pregnancy, thank God, you know, but this is going to be the last one for me, you guys. 8 is enough. 8's enough for me. So this is going to be the last one for me. My husband and I decided, we're done. You know, I tried to even out the gender in my family, where I had 4 boys and 3 girls. So we tried for a girl thinking we would have 4 girls and 4 boys. That would have been just perfect, but God had another plan. So we are now pregnant with our 5th boy, and we have 3 girls. So there will be 5 boys, 3 girls, and I'm not going to try to look, honey, I'll buy a dog and put some pink bows on it, because I'm about to be 40 now, and I'm done. Okay, I'm done. I'll wait years from now and years from now to have grandkids, years from now, for my children that may be watching this video. I ain't trying to be nobody grandmama at 45. So years from now, okay, I'll wait for grandkids and I'll spoil my granddaughters. And, you know, I love to dress the girls up in pink and little cute outfits and clothes. There's just so much adorable things you can do with little girls. But I'm going to join my 5 sons, okay, because that's a wrap. That is a wrap. So my plan is to reverse the diabetes again this pregnancy. I'm going to start intermittent fasting. I will keep you guys posted on that, you know, how it's going for me. I love to jump rope, honey. I love to jog. I love to run. I'm a very active person. I like riding bikes. I like going on hikes and things like that. So I like getting out there and playing basketball with my husband. He be cheating, but you know what? It's all good. I let him win because, you know, just wouldn't look right if he get beat by a girl. But, you know, I love the freedom of being physically active. So I am looking forward to that after this pregnancy. Looking forward to getting back in shape and everything like that. And yeah, I'm done. No more babies. This is it. So anyway, back to my 2nd trimester symptoms. Okay, back to that portion of this video. Okay, so now that we've covered the type 2 gestational diabetes and the type 2 diabetes and the symphysis pubis dysfunction, or PGP, pelvic girdle pain, that's pretty much the gist of my 2nd trimester symptoms and what I was experiencing, and you know, everything that was going on. I will also tell you, by 16 weeks, I started to feel fetal movement, just little flutters at 16 weeks, you know, and because it's my 8th pregnancy, I was able to recognize the sensation a lot sooner than first-time moms. So that was really exciting to be able to experience that part. Now at 29 weeks, he beating me up. He's kicking and moving and wiggling and everything. But I'll tell you guys, I think it's a big baby. I think it's another big baby. I'm going to give you guys a belly shot. And I also want to show you guys this little belly band that I ordered. My husband ordered it for me off Amazon. I have like 3 belly bands, but this one, look, you got to get it. You got to get it. It helps with my back. I've had experienced backache. You know, just started having some heartburn. See, just started having heartburn this trimester at 29 weeks, but it's been a good pregnancy. So I haven't had a lot of, you know, difficulty or whatnot during the pregnancy, but 2nd trimester was a breeze. Towards the end of the trimesters, weeks 27 and 28, you know, I did start experiencing some shortness of breath coming up and down the stairs, moving around a lot. I started to experience like just doing regular house chores. I got winded. I need to sit down. I have to sit down now. And that's how I know he's a big boy. He's going to be a big boy too. So, because I am out of breath, I did get the pregnancy rhinitis during the 2nd trimester as well. That's where, you know, your sinuses and everything, runny nose, congestion, I have that anyway, bad allergies, but it really kicked in for me, with the pregnancies as well. It's just, I'm always congested or I have a runny nose. So I really can't wait till that's gone. I mean, it's not going to be gone because I do have allergies, but it will be nice for it to let up a little bit. Okay. It's annoying. It'll be nice for it to let up a little bit. But anyway, you guys, so that's pretty much my 2nd trimester update. You know, I will be posting again. I am going to fast forward because I think my last video was either week 16 or week 18. I'm not sure. So I am fast forwarding from there all the way to weeks 29. And then I'm going to start posting. I'm going to try to start posting videos again every week for, you know, throughout the 3rd trimester until delivery, because I want to bring you guys along with me in the delivery room. We want to record that and share that experience with you guys as well. But I do hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. I thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, like, and leave me a comment. Let me know that you're here and you're new here. And as usual, you guys, I will see you in the next video. But before I go, I am going to give you guys a belly shot, okay? And I'm going to show you this belly band that my husband ordered for me off of Amazon, okay? So stay tuned for that. Support on it, and it has the little back support there, straps on the side. It helps to lift your belly here, but then these shoulder straps on it. I don't have my regular tripod, you guys, because if you're not familiar with my channel, I'm in the process of moving, so you can see my house is empty. I just sold it. This is my last week here. So I'm in between homes and I'm doing this video, but I'm actually living in my RV right now. And that is where my tripod is, my ring light. So sorry about the angle, but I took the opportunity to record a video, right? So anyway, the angle's a little bit off, but you can adjust this, you know, to bring the baby up higher if you want, and I do, because he's really heavy to carry. But you can also see the strap, the shoulder strap. It's nice and thick for your shoulder, so it's not, you know, making any indications in your shoulder area like some bra straps can do. So it's very comfortable, you guys. I love to wear it because it lifts the baby off of my bladder, okay? And without it, I will be going to the bathroom like every 5 seconds. So I like wearing this band, and it's better than any of the other bands that I've had, which I told you I have 3. So I've got the one that comes across the top here. It doesn't have the straps like this. It does not come with that. It just has this belly part that goes underneath your belly, and then it has a strap that goes over the top of your belly, which I have no idea what that's for, because it's never served me any purpose. But then I have the belly band thing that's just below the belly that kind of helps hold the belly up. But this one I wanted to include in this video because it's absolutely perfect. You know, I generally wear it under my clothing, okay? But for the sake of this video, I am putting it on top. But I generally wear it under my clothing, and that also just depends on what I'm wearing, honey, because I have a cardigan today because it's been raining. It's cold and rainy here in California. So with my cardigan, I can put it over it and kind of conceal the band. No one would know that I have it on. But anyway, this feels good. This helps with my back, lower back. It takes the pressure off of my back because without it, I would be leaning like this and walking and having that whole waddle thing going on, you know, waddling like a pregnant person. But with the band, I'm able to kind of hold my posture a lot better than I generally would. Now, like I said, this is a big baby, okay? I still got 2 months to go, you guys. I'm 29 weeks today, so I still got 2 months to go, and I'm gonna show you guys what this belly looks like at 39 weeks, okay? Because that's when I am due to deliver at either 38 or 39 weeks because I'm scheduled to do a C-section, okay? So they generally deliver you or perform the procedure a week before 40 weeks. But anyway, I'll show you guys what this belly looks like and closer to the delivery time, you know, but I'm certain I probably got another, I've got a few more, some more growing to do, okay? But I'm glad that I got this because it's able to hold the baby up. I don't have to walk around with all that weight down here, you know, protecting my pelvic floor, ladies. Protecting my pelvic floor, ladies, okay? Protect the pelvic floor. So I am holding this boy up with this band, and I don't have to walk around holding him up because this thing is just awesome. Now, let me get the camera again. I do not have the box, but I know that my husband would have the information for this belly band in his Amazon cart. So I can get that for you guys, or I will get that for you, and I'll add it and include it in the video if you're interested in purchasing this this belly band. And I love it so much because I see a lot of them out there and I see a lot of advertisements for them, but I don't see with the little, you know, vest thing hanging over your shoulder. And my husband told me, he go, why don't you get the one that holds over, you know, will kind of go over your shoulder, but pull hold the baby up too. And I'm like, they don't make that. Where do you hear? Where do you see that at? Where do you get that from? They don't make that, you know. He found it, so he found it, and they do make it, and he got it. And let me tell you, I love it. I love it. It definitely, it fits my needs right now, you guys. Honey, look. If I'm walking around anywhere, I even wear this thing in the house, just getting around the house. If I'm doing chores, you know, if I'm going to be up and out and about, I wear this thing because if not, the baby puts pressure on my bladder and I got to stop and go to the bathroom every 5 seconds. Look, I got to run into Target because I prefer a clean bathroom. But I got to stop somewhere and go to the restroom before I even get home. Even if I'm 5 minutes from the house, I got to stop and go to the bathroom. But with the belly band, there's not a lot of pressure on the belly. The baby's not kicking it in my bladder. He's not, you know, he's not pressing down or anything. And it helps me to get around a little bit better. It also holds me up. I can breathe better with it, so on and so forth. So you guys, look it up. Read all the great benefits on it. I'll attach the information on here. If you like it, by all means, go ahead. I highly recommend it, honey. It is a 3rd trimester pregnancy woman's dream. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here because this video is long. So I'm going to go on and get out of here. And I did say it. I said it just like that. I'm going to go on and get out of here. Don't ask, okay? But that's my time, y'all. I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for your support. Love you guys out there. Continue to support Taylor Eternal. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.